It's time for Let's Chat with Russtek, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs just like you. When starting out, entrepreneurs often feel they need to go it alone, and I'm here to tell you that's just not the case. Entrepreneurs have a lot of questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Nick Russell, and this is Let's Chat with Russtek. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat with Russtek. My name is Nick Russell, and today I want to talk about time. I want to talk about managing your time. I want to talk about making more time in the week so you can get more done and have a much better work-life balance. And before I really get into that, I want to talk about um, something that happened to me many, many years ago, back when I used to work for the beer store. And this is something that has stuck with me to this day. And I still talk about this quite often. Now, when I was a permanent part-time employee at the beer store, kind of a step up from part-time, but not quite full-time yet. But I was still able to kind of be a supervisor, um, typically on the night shift when a full-timer or a manager wasn't around. And this particular night, I believe it was a Tuesday or Thursday night, and I was at one of the busier stores in the city, and we happened to have a beer truck come in earlier that day, and there was quite a bit of work to do. Now, the weather wasn't really that great that day, and it was kind of a slower day. So I put off all the work I had to do and procrastinated, spent some time with the other employees, and we were talking. Now, that was really before smartphones were a thing. So it's not like we were on our phones chatting and Facebook and all that. This was kind of before all that. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we started to get really busy. And that wasn't a typical Tuesday night. Usually it's slow. And it kind of got to the point where it was as busy as a Saturday night. And we only had two of us working there. And it was just getting busier and busier and busier. Now, I couldn't figure out why. Well, one of the customers had come in and we started talking. It turned out the store that was, I'd say, 5 or 6 blocks down the road, the next closest store to us, a car drove right through the front windows and into the lobby. So that store had to close, and all of their customers started to come to us. Now, I was completely unprepared for this, even after they sent one of their employees over to help us. We were completely unprepared, and we were just trying to keep up with the pace of customers. Needless to say, all that beer that came in that I had to break down, load into the cooler, put into the pre-chill cooler, and kind of get things organized, that I should have done right off the hop. It didn't get done at all. The next day, I happened to be have the day shift with one of the full timers who laid into me, rightfully so. He went up one side, down the other, and he let me have it. But again, rightfully so. I should have prepared my day, planned out the day, got all of my work done. So at the end of the day, I had some free time to do cleaning and some odd small stuff. And if the odd chance we did get busy, I would have been able to handle that and the work would have been done. And that kind of goes with everything that we do as entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter if you're working from home, working in a brick and mortar shop, storefront, whatever the case may be. We have to plan our days accordingly. And like we talked about before, use time block, use to-do list apps, whatever the case may be. Plan out your day and have a system in place to get all of your work done. The more you procrastinate, the more things are going to start to pile up, and it's just going to be a snowball effect after that. Now, one of the coolest tools that I haven't really talked about in quite some time now, and it's not a part of the resources. It's actually a separate resource that we'll talk about after. But one of the tools that I do use is a time study. Now, in this time study, it's all laid out, and every 15 minutes, I write down what I've done. So right now, I'm recording this podcast, excuse me, and I'll jot down from this time to this time, I'm recording a podcast. From this time to this time, I'm editing my podcast. From this time to this time, I'm taking a 15-minute break to walk around and get a little loose. From this time to this time, I'm creating content, I'm getting water, whatever. And I even do this after I'm done work to see, maybe I'm on my phone engaging on Instagram for myself or clients, or maybe I'm off getting a adult beverage at a bar or brewery. I jot down everything that I do in this time study. And I do this for 2 weeks, so 14 days. And at the end of that 14-day time period, I'll go through and I'll calculate exactly what was spent. Was it productive hours? Was it non-productive hours? Kind of break all that down so I can see where that time went. Using that, I'm able to readjust my time blocks on my Google Calendar, my Todoist app. I can adjust where these tasks go and make my time work for me, get more productive, and that will help me get more done in a lot less time. And I revisit this time study typically once a month now. I still do it, and I still kind of revisit what I'm doing so I can kind of better adjust my schedule. I may take on 2, 3, 4 new clients. I may lose a client, and things need to get adjusted. And I could put things in spots that are open. I need to open up more spots. So that's where that time study really, really comes in handy. And it doesn't just work for digital marketers or coaches, or it works for people that are in brick and mortar storefronts. There's so many uses for a time study like that to help you really get that work-life balance that we all want. So with all of that said, I want you to try this, and I want to see if it works for you, because I know it will. So in the description of this podcast, I'm going to have a link, and I believe it's rustekmedia.com/time study. And you get that time study completely free. That's it. There's no upsells, downsells, none of that. Just push your email in there, and I will email you the PDF version of that time study. And what I recommend you do is get your printer, print that out, and have that with you. You can put it in a binder, in a folder, whatever you can put that into, and bring that around with you. And you can jot down everything that you're doing for 2 weeks to see where your time is spent. Now, I'd love to hear how productive you are on any given day. So I'd love you to head to our Facebook page, Russtek Media, and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about different ways how you use your time, and I'll talk about how I spend my time during the day, and we can help each other out that way. So again, head to rustekmedia.com/time study, and that's yours absolutely free. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I hope you got a little bit out of it, and I hope you enjoy the time study, and it really helps you free up some time so you can have a much better work-life balance. So with all that said, hope you have an amazing week, and I can't wait to chat with you again next week. Hey everybody, hold up one quick second. Now, as entrepreneurs, we all struggle to find different tools and systems and resources that we could use to help our businesses grow. Now, I've been doing this for almost 6 years now, and I've tried a lot of different systems, procedures, routines, different tools. And over those 6 years, I've compiled everything that I've learned and only pickpocketed the best of the best that has helped me grow. Now, everything that I do now has helped me grow continually year after year after year. And I've put that all into one resource tool for you. If you head to info.rustekmedia.com/tools. That's yours completely free. Everything you need to grow as an entrepreneur and to grow your business online. Everything is there completely free. All you have to do is send me your email address and I will send the resource right to you. So once again, if you want this free resource guide, head to info.rustekmedia.com/tools. And I can't wait to chat with you again next week.